thoroughly Lord has explained us, means Arjuna, in 3 verses. First he said, the whole Maya tatamidam sarvam jagatam jagada abhyakta murtina matsani sarvabhutani nachaham te svavastitah. First he said in 4th sloka, all this world is pervaded by me in my unmanifested aspect. All beings exist in me, but I do not dwell in them. This was very complicated statement, and then he clarified it. Nacha mat sthani bhutani pasyame yogameshwaram bhutavrid na cha bhutasto mamatma bhutavavanaha. Nor do beings exist in me. In reality, behold my divine yoga, supporting all beings, but not dwelling in them. Is myself the efficient cause of beings? So the beings are not in me. Apparently they seem to be in me. And then he gave the example in 6th sloka. How do not they exist in you? Though you told all the beings they exist in me, but I do not exist in them. And again you say, from yogic vision, if you see, they are not really existing in me. I just support them. That means all they are imaginary. And now he gives the example, beautiful example. Yatha akasa sthito nityam vayuhu sarvatra go mahan tatha sarvani bhutani matthani iti upadharaya. Understand like this, as the mighty wind moving everywhere. Wind rests always in the ether, means the sky. Even so, know thou that all beings rest in me. Just as the wind is resting on the ether, but ether has nothing to do with mind, a wind. See, the Lord gives a beautiful illustration or a simile in this verse to explain what he has said in the previous 2 verses. Just as the wind ever rests in the ether space without any contact or attachment with the space, so also all beings and objects rest in Brahman without any attachment or contact at all. These objects cannot produce any effect on it. Now, we have the other example also in Gita. We shall see it afterwards. Padma patram ivambhasi, just as the lotus leaf grows in water and remains in water, and gets destroyed in water. But the whole life of the lotus leaf, the leaf has got no contact with water. Even though water comes over it, it is unattached to water. It has got no connection. Similarly, this wind is in the sky, but the sky has got nothing to do with wind, nor the wind has got anything to do with the sky. They are totally different from each other. No connectivity. Can the wind touch the sky? It can touch you, all the objects, but sky is untouched, unattached. And can it have any effect on the sky? Nothing. So, it has got no connectivity. Similarly, the beings remain in the absolute truth, but truth has nothing to do with the individuals, and individuals has no connectivity with the Supreme Truth. If this is so, बोल हमारा क्या होगा? The Lord Krishna has said this. This is the truth. This is the truth. We cannot argue against it. All the essence of all the scriptures is given here. The great science, the great secret is given here. How can you argue against it? That is clear view. So if these beings have no contact, no connection, no effect on the truth, so what happens to us? बोल हमारा क्या होगा? What will happen to us? Oh, my Father in heaven, you are our everything. You are my father, mother, parents, and you are my knowledge, you are my support, you are my wealth, you are my knowledge, you are everything. Without you, I have no existence. Oh Lord, Thy will be done. This is the highest prayer we do always. Has it got then any meaning? Why don't you ask this question? Yes?
Maharaj, this is from a relative point of view.
Please talk aloud. I cannot hear.
So from a relative point of view, so should we understand that the space does not have any relationship with the objects, because objects appear because of space?
The space is not direct cause for the objects. This is how the Supreme Truth is not the cause for the beings. How many times we have discussed it. He is not the direct cause. He is supporting cause, indirect cause. So much we have discussed yesterday and every day we discuss. He has got nothing to do with all these beings. Are you worried if the mountain flies in the sky in the dream and falls on you? Are you worried?
In the dream I am worried.
Pardon?
In the dream I am worried.
When you get up, what is reality? What is reality? When you get up, then you say, this is the reality. It was only a dream, it was false. This is what you say. Isn't it? So, if he says clearly, when the day breaks, all these come out of the womb of the Hiranyagarbha, and just as the bubbles come out of the ocean and they disappear in the ocean, so also has ocean to worry about the bubbles, why they are bursting very often? Does the ocean worry about all these bubbles? So, बोल हमारा क्या होगा? हम कहाँ जाएं? Where to go? Where is our support? Pardon? Pardon?
Back to ocean.
That is but natural. So, knowledge helps you. If you know this to its correct meaning, means from your heart of hearts, you have no connection with the Supreme as an individual being. Matter ends there, there is no support needed for you. Understood now? There is no need of any support from anywhere, because you have been one with the Absolute. Your identity is lost now. So why do you worry about your support? Just as the ether, we shall come to it, just as the sky inside the empty pot, when the pot is broken or pot is not broken, what is the relationship of the pot sky with the outer sky? What is the relationship? Does it worry for its support from the outer sky? Please save me, save me. I am within this small area. I am being suffocated. Please save me. Does it cry aloud? It remains as it is. And after the breakage of the pot, or the pot remains as it is, it has nothing to worry about. It was, it is, it will be oneness with the Absolute Sky. It is not other than the Absolute Sky. So, it has to not worry at all. Your prayer, if it is sincere from the heart of hearts, it gives this understanding. This is the result of your prayer. You realize, I am everything. I am the part and parcel of the Absolute Truth. I have to worry for nothing. You need nothing. You have everything. You have everything. You need nothing. Mamatma sarvabhutatma. Myself is the self of all beings. One who thinks the whole universe is my family, and who is ever engaged in doing well to all the beings. Such a person is rarely seen. He is rare to find out. Lord Rama, sometimes when Hanuman was shampooing his legs, nobody was there. They were all alone. By curiosity, Lord Rama asked Hanuman, "My dear Hanuman, you are my heart. Can you tell me one thing?" "Yes, my lord." "Oh, please order. What relationship you have with me? What relationship have you with me?" This was the question from Rama to Hanuman. Do you know what did he reply? Deha buddhya tu dasoham. My mind flitters. When I think of the body, I am your slave, my lord. As a body, I have three states of being. One is body state, one is individual self, the other is universal oneness. In these three states, when I think of body, I am the body, I am your slave, my lord. When I think of my individual self, other than the body, the subtle body, then I am part and parcel of you. I am not other than you. I am your part. And when I think of the self supreme, then I am none other than you. Deha buddhya tu dasoham. Jiva buddhya tadansakaha. Atma buddhya tamevahamiti. Iti me nishchitamati. I have firm conviction on these three statements. Because in behavioral world, in relative world, I have to behave as a body sometime, and sometime I have to behave as the individual self. And when I sit all alone, I am none other than you. I am one with you. I am one with you. There is no difference. So from this our devotion is clarified. When you pray Lord as a individual body, then there is support, of course. The all-pervading, all-knowing, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent Lord is within you. He is your support. He will not leave you alone. Always He is there. Only thing, we have to accept His presence. Then His presence is revealed. We don't accept. We don't accept. The children, sometimes small children, they don't obey the mother. Mother is always inwardly, outwardly with the child. But the child sometimes out of ignorance, out of mischievousness, out of naughty habits, the child doesn't take support of the mother. He runs and he falls down. Even then the mother comes for his risk. The child will kick the mother. It will pass urine on the mother's lap, stool also. All are sandal paste for mother. Similarly, the Lord is always with us because He is omnipresent, because He is omniscient. So He knows what is the need of my child. Ananya chintayanto mam ye janaha paripasate tesam nityavijuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyam. Lord has assured it. He has taken the contract. He has given you the guarantee card. Even then, if you don't believe it, who can help you? Who can help you? Think of me. I am with you. That is what Lord Krishna proved in many times. Draupadi called him. He came to her risk. Our Sudama thought of Lord. He went to the Lord. Lord didn't give him anything physically. But when he comes back home, Lord has given everything to him. This is how He gives everything. At the time of your need, if you think of Him, He thinks of ye jatha mam prapadyante tam tatheva bhajamyaham. As you think of me, so I think of you. The Lord is always with us, so there is nil desperandum. Don't be desperated. He is always with us. So also our Guru, which is none other than the Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar, the absolute truth. He is the incarnation or manifestation of knowledge, support, everything, guidance. Even though the Guru is not in the body, he is always with the disciples. Don't have a bit of doubt in it. Sansayatma vinasyati. If you have doubt, then you will be ruined. Nobody can help you. Here he says, I am not attached to the beings. I have no contact with the beings. But that is to say, outwardly, inwardly, he is everything. Pasyame yogam aishwaram. See me from the yogic eye. So, I am none other than you. I the truth, but I the body. He is talking of the beings. Being means who has become. What is the becoming? The infinite has been finited. The boundless have a boundary. The limitless is limited here. That is called being. It has become something. It has the lines of demarcation. So, as such, There is no relationship between the lines and the white paper. No relationship. The lines are lines. What relationship it can have with the paper? But yet inwardly, as paper is all pervading, the paper is behind the lines all the time. It cannot be separated. Though outwardly it is not at all attached to the lines, to the pictures, the background screen is not the picture. The picture is in the screen, but screen is not in the picture. Do you see the screen, background screen in the picture? So also the case with relationship between the Lord and the beings. Beings means some pictures, some imaginary lines. That is what we were discussing with that glass cube. There is a globe within it. That globe is not globe. It is just imaginary lines. All these lines are imaginary only. You see, we have divided the sky. How? It is Indian sky. The Pakistani, what do you call it? Those engineless drones. The Pakistani drones cannot come to Indian sky. It is Indian sky. How could you draw a line in the sky? Similarly, we have drawn lines in the imaginary sky, imaginary, unlimited, and we have made it limited. That is how the beings are. What relationship it has with the absolute infinite? We have to see from all round vision. Just as the dreams have nothing to do with you, just as the pictures have nothing to do with the background screen, just as the sky has nothing to do with the sky, wind, just as the water has nothing to do with the lotus leaf. Let it go to hell. Whether it is attached to water or not attached, what does it matter to the water? Just as the bubbles seen in the ocean, whether they appear or disappear, what does it matter to the ocean? All these examples we have to see, and the relationship of Hanumanji with the Lord Rama. So also our relationship with the Absolute, don't worry. Tulsidas sings, all the relationship with you, my Lord, is there between you and me. Whatever appeals to you, you can accept it. कौन सा क्या पद्यावली या क्या जो what अरे पत्र क्या पत्र विनय पत्र विनय पत्र in Vinay Patra, how humbly, how sweetly, how heartily Our Tulsidas keep the relationship with the Lord. Oh Lord, whatever relationship appeals to you, you can have that relationship with me. I have all the relationships. So now don't worry. Lord is with you all the time, though He is not attached to you. Now He says, what sort of relationship is there between Brahman and the object of this universe? Of course, we have seen the relationship between the sky and the wind. Now, the question is, what sort of relationship is there between Brahman and the objects of this universe? Means individuals, objects means forms or beings. Is it, there are different kinds of relationships. According to philosophical lookout, there are different kinds of relationships. Now we are going to discuss all these relationships. What kind of relationships? Is it sanjog? Sanjog means by chance, or somehow some contact. You were going in the train and there came some gentleman and sat near you. His birth is above you. Your birth is the lower birth. Now by the way you have to talk to him. And it appeared he is so soft, so kind-hearted and so mixing type. Now you had friendship with him. This is called samyog. Samyog. By chance you met somebody and you had a relationship. Is it samyog, samabhaya or tadatmya? Samabhaya, cooperative way. Samabhaya Samiti we have, Samabhaya cooperative societies, helping each other. Or tadatmya, oneness, feeling oneness. Or tadatmya sambandh, what kind of relationship? The Brahman has with the individuals. Let us see. Many kind of relationships are there. You see, friends are your relations, your far relations, and your own, क्या कहते हैं हम, खून की रिश्ता. My parents have 3 children. Blood relation. Yes, blood relationship. So different kind of relationships are there. Sometimes some ladies they have no children, they adopt some children, and they are one with all the relationship with that adopted child. In this way, relationships are different. Many kinds of relationship you have. So now let us see what kind of relationship the Absolute has with the individuals. The relationship of the stick with the drum is Samayoga Sambandha. It gets attached to the drum just for some time. Let us assume that there is such a sambandha, relationship or connection. Let us assume. We have to take one by one and discuss, do analysis, and then let us see what is the consequence. What kind of relationship the Absolute has with individuals. There cannot be connection between all the parts because Brahman is infinite and the elements are finite. It cannot be samyog sambandha. Though there is a relationship, it is partial and momentary, just as the stick with the drum. So this sambandha, this relationship is cancelled. It is not perfect relationship. You may say that there is connection of the ekadesha type, partial connection is there. This is also not possible because there can be such relationship only between objects which possess members of or parts like the tree and monkey. Ekadesha is partial. The monkeys live in the tree. They have some relationship. This is called partial. They give up the tree at any time. Brahman has no parts. So how can you say some partial relationship? If Brahman is divided into parts, then only we can say that I have partial relationship. Brahman has got partial relationship with the individuals. It is not so. So this partial or samyog relationship is not at all. It is rejected. It is not possible. Okay? If you say that there is a samavaya sambandha between Brahman and the objects or the elements, this is also not possible. Samavaya, cooperative, relationship between the attribute and the possessors of the attribute. Possessors of the attribute is called samavaya sambandha. Cooperative means together. See, I gave the example of Pappu playing the role of Ravana. Has Pappu any relationship with Ravana? Can you say? It is just imaginary some attribute. It is not so. There is no connection between Pappu with Ravana. So this samavaya sambandha also is rejected. The relationship between the individual Brahman and the whole Brahmin, individual Brahmin and the whole Brahmin caste is also samavaya sambandha. One Brahmin and the whole Brahmin society. So the Brahmin has a relationship with the society. But what kind of relationship? Let us see. The relationship between the hand and the man. Hand has got relationship with the body, isn't it? Between the leg and the man is also samavaya sambandha. They are attached to one another, but yet they have no relationship. Body has got nothing to do with the leg. Such relationship does not exist between Brahman and objects or the elements. Because if some similarity is there, then only samavaya sambandha is possible. See, in the triangle, the angles are, they have contact or relationship with the sides of the triangle, isn't it? But sides are totally different from the angle, isn't it? Angle is something else and the sides are something else, but they have some relationship. We see. Similarly, this is, if we consider this, they have some relationship because of similarities. The 8 anna, half rupee, has got connection with the 1 rupee, isn't it? But it is totally different from the 1 rupee coin. So it is not possible. The third kind of relationship, which is tadatmya sambandha, is seen to exist between milk and water. They get together, they join one with the other. Tadatmya. They become one. Tadatmya sambandha. Fire and iron ball, when the iron is heated up in the fire has relationship with the iron gets red because of fire. Milk shares its qualities of sweetness and whiteness with water. Okay? Fire shares its qualities of brilliance, heat and redness with the hot iron. These two is not possible between Brahman and the objects or the elements. Because Brahman is existence, knowledge, bliss, absolute, and all full and all perfect, whereas the elements are insensate, finite and painful. It is not perfect. How can they, with quite contrary qualities, have tadatma sambandha with Brahman? Fire shares its qualities with the iron, but here the Brahman is infinite and this is finite. How can there be any contact? No relationship. This is also rejected. This is how the argument goes on. Why the Absolute will not have any contact or relationship with the individuals? How individuals are not in them, in the Absolute Truth. Therefore, it can be admitted that the elements have only got kalpit sambandh, superimposition with Brahman, kalpit sambandh, imaginary relationship, imaginary relationship. Just as the hand also have the imaginary relationship with the body. Hand is not other than the body, but we imagine it is different from it. So some imaginary relationship. Here this imaginary relationship, kalpita sambandha with the Brahman, that object which is superimposed or the substratum, on the substratum, just as we see the snake on the rope. Snake on the rope. Snake is not at all there, it is imaginary snake. It is superimposed or falsely assumed as if the rope is the snake. It is just imaginary. Snake is imagination only. Just as we gave the example, the living lion and the stone lion, when there was lightning, what did you see? The living lion has gone forever, not to come back to this stone. The stone is stone all the time. And this living lion is superimposed on the stone. It is kalpita sambandha, superimposition. World here includes all beings, and there are three kinds of bodies: physical, mental and causal. Three bodies. Causal body, mental means subtle body, and physical body, gross body. Therefore, the elements or the beings in this world are not really rooted in Brahman. They do not really dwell in Brahman. It is all in name only name for namesake. The snake has no relationship with the rope. Somehow, by imagination, we have brought it and forcibly assumed that the snake is there. This is how the Advaita philosophy proves there is no world at all. And that is what Lord gives here, the proof. I alone exist. There is no world. What happens to your world at the night time of the Creator? Where do they go? And where from they appear again? That unmanifested Prakriti, that also imagination only. There is no such thing. And higher unmanifested, lower unmanifested, all these are only imaginations. To have some temporary relief or some consolation, we have to say something. Just have patience and have some little timely relief, a sigh of relief. Now we say Vayu, Yes, Vayu also means Sutratman or Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is in the absolute, just as the wind is in the sky. Bhuta also means the individual consciousness, just as the ether in the pot is not distinct from the universal ether before the origin and after the destruction of the pot. We were discussing now. What relationship is there between the pot sky and outer sky? Is there any relationship? It is one and the same. And pot sky is nothing but imaginary sky. It is imagined as pot sky, room sky, ghatakas, patakas, or mathakas. All these words are used in philosophy. The sky of the pot, sky of the ashram, sky of India. Now we were discussing the Pakistani sky is different from Indian sky. And ocean also, Indian ocean is different from the Pacific Ocean. Can you divide the water? Can you divide the sky? All these are imaginations. Don't be swayed away by your imaginations. So also, the individual soul is of the nature of Brahman during the three periods of time, that is past, present and future. O radiant self, shine in your pristine glory. You are the absolute self-effulgent supreme truth. There is no difference. If you can accept it, the matter ends there. No question, no answer. No question, no answer. No argument, no thinking. No problems, no solutions. In three periods of time, the individual soul is not different from the absolute Brahman. Just as all effects exist in a state of non-difference in their material cause before they appear during their period of existence and after their destruction, so also the individual souls are not different from Brahman. Therefore, the origin of the various objects, various limiting objects, the mind, intellect, etc., during the period of their existence and after their destruction also. So, we can bring another example of the wave and the water. Water, neither it was different from water, wave was not different from water, nor now it is different from water as it appears to be, nor it can be different from the water in future. In three periods of time, by all means, by all arguments, you cannot differentiate the wave from the water. It is one or the same. Yes. So, now have you got little consolation, little satisfaction, little clarity? If you go on pondering over this day and night, ahoratran sandadhami, ahoratran sandadhami, day and night I have to reflect on it. Then only you can understand something. My dear, this is how it is the greatest secret. Though it is open to one and all. So tomorrow we shall see. Sarva bhutani kaunteya prakriti mijanti mamikam kalpakshaye punastani kalpado visrujamyaham. The same thing he has told before also. When the day breaks, all these day of the Creator Brahma, and when the day breaks, all these creatures, they come out of the Hiranyagarbha, the womb of the imaginary womb of the Brahma, which is also an imaginary being. And when night falls, the day ends, all these individuals, they enter into the womb of that imaginary Hiranyagarbha. They appear and disappear just as the bubbles appear and disappear in the water. When the waves clash against each other, bubbles are created. So the saying goes, लहरों से लहरें टकराते हैं क्यों? Why do these waves clash against each other? If at all they clash against each other, why do innumerable bubbles come out of it? लहरों से लहरें टकराते हैं क्यों? लाखों अरबों बुदबुदें बन जाते हैं क्यों? Why do there innumerable bubbles appear by that? By clashing with each other. And बन करके बिगड़ते रहते हैं क्यों? If at all they have been created, why do they disappear? महासागर का तो स्वभाव ही यूं. This is called the nature of the ocean. This is called the nature of the ocean. Don't ask why. Don't ask why. This is the nature of the ocean. महासागर का तो स्वभाव ही यूं. This is the nature of the ocean. And if you ask, why do these all creatures, they come out of the womb of Hiranyagarbha or the day break, and why do they disappear in it again at the end of the day? There is no answer. This is the nature. This is mama maya duratyaya. There is no answer to my nature. We shall see tomorrow. All beings, O Arjuna, go into my nature at the end of the kalpa. This he has already described before. Now he is emphasizing on this. I send them forth again at the beginning of the next kalpa. And don't ask here which are the beings which came in the first kalpa and who are the others or the same beings in the next kalpa. No question, no answer, all these are imaginary bubbles. Just as I told you, bring a glass of water from the water tank and pour it back to it and bring it again another glass. What water, which water you have brought in second time? Can you say, can you identify? Break the earthen pot and let the inside sky be one with the out sky. And again put another pot there. Can you say which sky has entered there? Have you some ID card of that sky? Can you produce the Aadhaar card of that sky? All these are imaginations. Don't bother in all these nonsense questions. Tomorrow we shall see what is Prakriti and how Lord is connected with the beings or not connected. What are the beings? How are the beings? How is the Supreme? What are the connectivities, relationships, or what kind of relationship? Tomorrow we shall see further. Hari Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasesate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadguru Bhagavan ki jai. Satchidananda Bhagavan ki jai. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. Gita Maharani ki jai.